Roxy, proceed to lab. You're fairly sure this window will take you to one of the windows you've set up in the lab. There is more than one way to find out if this is true, you guess, but there's only one way that involves doing what the inebriated do best, which is falling down. Roxy, descend. Oh, well then. Talk about coming face to face with yourself. Time for Dirk. You are now Dirk. What the hell is going on here again? That's right, you were lodged in the bulbous cleft of Paradox Space's huge foam ass, and we were hoping to trouble you for a bit of context. Something to set our watches to, if you'd be so kind. Perhaps your successive actions will oblige us. Ha. JK, young bro, we know you don't give a shit. Go ahead and do whatever feels right. Dirk, go get your sword. You retrieve your unbreakable katana, a real hard sword for a real hard dude. It was said to be forged by an ancient otaku master over the heat of a roaring manga fire. It was cooled at the enchanted spring where virgin horses nicker and bathe, and was said could only be used by one whose pointy anime shades were deemed sweet enough, and whose hair existed in perpetually sculpted state of looking completely fucking awesome. All of those things were said by you. You like to juggle around a few different allocations in your portfolio, besides blade kind. Mostly, ironically, you take a certain amount of pride in being able to beat practically anyone's ass down with a puppet, a martial discipline for which there is a startling variety of techniques. Fancy Santa kind is a straight-up shits and giggles specialist, though. Nobody is quite sure how to extract damage from a foe using an extremely elaborate Santa figurine, but if anyone can figure it out, it's probably you. Dirk, give Lil Cal a nervous fist bump. Nervous? That's absurd. There's no reason to be nervous around Cal. Little Cal is the shit. He's been around so long been around as long as you can remember. You're practically raised by that puppet. He was as much a better guardian to you than your Hollywood superstar bro of yours ever was. He's such a good listener. You share with him all your most private thoughts and hopes and dreams. Sometimes you snuggle up with him for a nice nap. Anyway, the bottom line is puppets are awesome. And that's really all there is to say on the matter. Dirk, admire the fancy Santa. Look at this pompous little asshole. What a god-awful piece of shit this thing is. You aren't even sure why you keep these things around. The miasma of tackiness that surrounds them is almost enough to outstrip their irony value. Almost. Dirk, greet robotic friend. You say, yo, what's up to this dude over here, and exchange a unique series of handshakes and fist bumps. His name is Squarewave. You built him to have rap-offs with now and then. He's an enthusiastic rapper and give it his all whenever you duel, but he's pretty easy to destroy. You've never lost a match against him. You've only built one rap bot besides him. His name is Sawtooth. You designed him to be unbeatable in a rap-off, and he is. You've never won a match against him. You hope to one day, but you're not going to hold your breath. His flow is just that insane. You keep one of his spare heads over there on your desk, but otherwise, you don't see much of him. It's been months since your last encounter. He presumably spends his time traveling the world, annihilating any rapper foolish enough to challenge him. Dirk, examine wardrobe. You tell Squarewave to scoot off out of the way so you can get a load of your sweet fashions. Aw, looks like he really wanted to rap with you. Sorry guy, maybe another time. This is your wardrobifier. It auto-magically rotates your fashions whenever you feel like it. Dirk, change shirt. You bust out a tank top, which is the go-to solution for hard dudes who want to show off their guns. It's a very strong look, you think. Dirk, what the hell is that on your arm? Oh, that? That's just your sick ink, featuring a legendary cultural icon of deep personal significance. What's even the big deal? Dirk, examine little posters. R.I.P. Stiller. Poor bastard had to go and get all tangled up with your brother's crazy complicated life. As for the other one, you're a studious pop culture scholar of all eras, a sharp critic of that reflection in the mirror we hold up to our society. You seek truth in the vivid mosaic made out of our most shameless obsessions. Your interest in these cartoon ponies is strictly academic, okay? No, seriously. What? Okay, fine, you love this one particular little rainbow horse unironically. Is that such a crime? She's just so darn spunky. Heart. Dirk, examine puppet/hat pile. The pile at the foot of your bed consists of hats, a few stray robo parts, and smuppets. Smuppets are a lovable sort of plush of your own design. You love everything about puppets. You're always thinking about the craft of their production, their operation, cool new designs, and such. If the cosmos didn't have more important plans for you, and if the world weren't so fucked up, you'd make a run at fame and fortune with your own puppet enterprises, just like your bro did with all his weird shit. You also love to keep a bunch of hats around, even though you never wear them. You love hats because all bros love hats, and that's what you are, a bro. You'd consider wearing one now and then, but they don't really fit the dimensions of your head yet. And anyway, it'd be criminal to mess up your perfect hair. Instead, you do the next best thing, which is wear a picture of one on your shirt. And by the next best thing, you're pretty sure you mean the vastly superior thing. Dirk, check out Big TV. When you're not using the screen for other purposes, you have it set to rotate through some images by default, like a digital picture frame. The image flips from a totally bitchin' horse puppet sort of thing to a portrait of everyone's favorite comedy duo, Stiller and Wilson. Your bro made so many of these movies, it's hard to keep track of them. The series drifted almost imperceptibly from surrealist slapstick and inexplicable box office dynamite to veiled, nearly subliminal protest pieces designed to expose the corporate tyranny slowly taking control of the world. The statement did not go unnoticed by the Baroness, and soon the conflict between your brother's media empire and Crocker Corp was a matter of public spectacle, though the press has generally played up the rivalry as an extremely high-stakes display of performance art. And knowing your bro, there is surely at least some truth to this. Donald Glover won an Academy Award for his transcendental performance as Jerome. After his acceptance speech, there was not a single dry eye in the house. His heroic effort on the silver screen was heralded by critics everywhere as a defining moment in cinematic history. Alas, the Batter Witch did not look upon his achievements as kindly. She had him assassinated. And that one is... well, never mind what that one is. You can't stand around all day looking at movie stills and swole bunny men. There's still some other shit in your room to investigate. You switch back to your regular shirt. You aren't feeling the wife beater. The t-shirt says, I still got work to do, while the other one says, which trailer's the party at? And Striders don't party till it's good fucking time to party. So it's nice to know that Dirk is a bit of a freak. Just a little bit. I don't know, anybody who has like swole bunny men just like so casually displayed, just like a little bit of a freak. No, it is what it is. Dirk, examine red microwave. It isn't a microwave, it's your sendificator. Pretty much the only Crocker tech you can bring yourself to use. It's just too handy not to. You just type the coordinates, pop in the thing you want to sendificate, and hit the button. It'll sendificate that thing in a jiffy, assuming it's temporally allowed, and within size restrictions. Obviously, you can only send what you can fit in there. You had to send Jake your robot pieces, robot piece by piece, barely managing to squeeze that shiny melon head in there. He then dutifully assembled the robot himself. Poor fool, so jovially complicit in his own merciless jungle predation. It's all for the best, though. When you're through with English, he'll be a ruthless killing machine. Mark your words. Dirk, capture log Jerome plush. Ah, I see. You snap the Jerome plush in your tech hop modus. This modus is often employed in rap battles, but is a bit more elegant and sophisticated than what most hash rap artists traditionally employ, like the most arbitrarily numeric hash maps and hash tables. The cards are arranged in shade columns and groove rows. Everything in the same column has to rhyme. Everything in the same row has to have some thematic similarity. Organizing everything gets complicated, and weaponizing your inventory through rap lyrics takes some serious skill. For instance, the third groove row got kind of railroaded into becoming an orange soda row, so you've just been rolling with it recently. The fourth row is pegged for stuff associated with cool bros. The second row is all about dolls, puppets, and stuff like that. The Jerome plush is clearly suitable for that row, and rhymes with crush, so that works out. Then you have some other perfectly dope rhymes, like Santa and Fanta, Fago and Game Bro, Do and Shoe. There's also Smuppet and Orangeette, which frankly you think is pretty weak, but hey, the modus allows it, so whatever. And then there are times where you have to be creative with naming stuff to get it to fit, like calling a skateboard a four-wheeled device to get it to rhyme with orange slice. It's just another facet to the craft. Dirk, Capture Log Sweet Bro plush. Might as well complete the plush collection. You grab the Sweet Bro off your bed. It intersects quite conveniently with the plush groove and the Fago shade. Nice one. Capture Log Hella Jeff plush. Last but not least, there's nothing that rhymes with Hella Jeff. It really isn't worth jumping through a lot of linguistic hoops to pick this thing up right now, so you just forget it. You have to pick your battles, you know what I mean. Dirk, take sword. You pick up the mighty sword. The easiest thing to do here is to ditch the slice. Stick the sword in the weapons row and rhyme it with board. Your bro had a lot of junk like this manufactured over the years. He patented the technology for producing three-dimensional JPEG artifacts to make products shittier than was ever previously imaginable. He made a killing off them, not because anyone bought this garbage, but because they were so cheap to manufacture, their cost was actually negative, therefore miraculously netting him a profit for every unit produced. He made so much money this way, yet enough to finance manned space missions to haul off all the hideous unwanted JPEG shit off the Earth. Someone would report a stray shitty skateboard slowly drifting back into Earth's atmosphere. People would pray that it would burn up on re-entry, but they never would. Oh look, Squarewave saw you messing around with your Silodex and thought you were preparing for a rap battle. He's kinda like an eager pet dog. You made the mistake of picking up his leash and now he thinks he's going for a walk. You hate to break his heart, but you don't have the time. Your concentration is divided enough as it is. Dirk, be Dream Self. Among the many ways you tend to multitask is by maintaining an ever-alert dream self. There's a lot to keep an eye on when it comes to cloak and dagger politics on Durst, especially these days. Can't let your guard down for a second. Dirk, examine the sleazy Dursite rag. The inquiring Carapacian, dead. How did this photo get taken? What? How the fuck? How does this work? Is anything any of the Carapacians sees just like in a network somewhere? I don't know. It's the latest issue of the Inquiring Carapacian, touting the recent assassination of Prospit's Maid of Life. Quite the triumph for the Dark Kingdom, and the press has predictably sensationalized the event to please the royalty and whip its readership into a nationalistic lather. In spite of all the ridiculous hyperbole and baseless slander found in the tabloids, one thing is clear. This development means nothing but trouble. If Noir has been empowered to take measures like this, you may have to accelerate your plans. Shit, while you were distracted with a newspaper in Dreamland, Squarewave has ambushed you for a wrap-off. Told you, bro, can't let your guard down for a second. Prepare for the wrap-off. Androids by Malcolm Brown.
Yo, D-Strizzle, I couldn't help but check you loading up on your silly-dilly. Can't fool me, Holmes, I know what that's about. So I just got one can of surprise noodles left to bust open here, and I know how you love your noodles. Do you wanna play a game?
Man, no. I already told you, I don't have time to disgrace you with my rhymes today. Sorry, dude.
That's so whack. I've been watching you waste nothing but time all looking at your horse pictures and shit. So I'm like, that shit's as whack as I'm a guy made of metal. Sit your ass back down, cause we got shit to settle. Just park it on my grill, you be whistling like a kettle. If raps are one-wheel device, your foot don't reach the pedal. Word.
God damn it. Alright, this is all you get. Pardon me. Wrap off, man, I gotta nap off. Your sad rap ambush. Shush your ass down while I pap you with plush. Bop. I push mad facts on the hapless. Shit's practically axiomatic. You don't talk smack with Orange Crush. Damn, dog. Why is the robot I gotta be predictably susceptible to liquid like this? It ain't cool, man. Brap. While you were making short work of Squarewave, you once again made the mistake of letting your other self's guard down. You're accosted by a Dursite agent with a serious axe to grind. These guards aren't supposed to know you're awake. Looks like your cover's blown unless you act fast. Dirk, Act fast. Bap, 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 bap. Puppet tech. Decapitate. Man, hegemonic brute's gotta... Dude gets decapitated all the time. Poor hegemonic brute. His time in the spotlight has been cut tragically short. You almost feel sorry for the guy. But now you have another problem. You spend the next 10 minutes thinking about it while you stand at his head and stare at the blood on your hands, as the often utilized stock graphic in the bottom corner of the image would indicate. Dirk, check on Roxy. Since the Archagent's clearly leading the assassination efforts personally on Prospect, this means the draconian dignitary is most likely focused on the Durst dreamers. He almost certainly ordered the brute to off you in your sleep. You can only hope the dignitary or one of his assassins hasn't already gotten to her. Dirk, exit. Just as you thought, sleepwalking again. Where the hell does she think she's going? Dirk, be waking self again. This is kind of a redundant thing to do since you always are consciously both your waking and dream self at the same time, but you'll let it slide. You should probably stop dwelling on your Durst problems and try to get this show on the road. Dirk, pester Roxy. And here we have a conversation we just fucking read. Dirk, take actual responsibility seriously. You attempt to take actual responsibilities seriously, but start zoning out in the real world while you dwell on your dream troubles. You zone out for who knows how long, when suddenly your train of thought's interrupted by your glasses. Dirk, answer autoresponder. Bro, what are you doing? It seems you're zoning out again. What happened to all these actual responsibilities you were going to be taking seriously? I was thinking about what to do, strategizing, factoring contingencies, you know how it is. It seems to me you were dwelling within your dream awareness at the expense of your waking business again. I don't think you're as awesome a multitasker as you like to think. You know you kind of zombie the fuck out on this side when you get all contemplative over there. Appearances are deceptive. I'm still in control here. Just doing this human thing we call chilling out for half a goddamn minute. I say y'all are overestimating your mind's capability to run shit in parallel. What do you think you are? A machine? No, dude, I already deployed a variety of mechanical avatars dedicated to that self-aggrandizing fantasy. You have the incredible privilege of getting to be one of them. That's right. I am a machine, and therefore I can keep like billions of calculations or whatever all humming away at once. I tackle shit in the background processes that you could only dream of wrapping your exquisite-looking head around, even on a great hair day. You know pi? What, you mean the number? Yes, the number. The big circle number, genius. I knew you meant the fucking number. My question was a joke. I know your question was a joke. My response was a joke. Yeah, I know that. I'm practically you, dumbass. All these things we're saying are jokes, including this fucking useless clarification. What about pi? Yeah, the thing is, I solved it. What do you mean you solved it? I mean, that's what a hotshot I am. I fucking solved it. Like, calculated it so much I got to the end. Bullshit. You wish it was bullshit. The last number is 4. Read it and fucking weep. It's not 4, you jackass. It's fucking nothing. There is no end, said the smug organic matter with a lifespan. Look, I know you're just fucking with me because for some reason I decided to program my own personal troll 3 years ago, but this shit was proven. Actually demonstrated with unassailable mathematics like a long ass time ago. Well, I just assailed it. It wasn't even that hard. Like I just kept hacking those digits so furiously with my sick rhythms, and the whole goddamn number just cried uncle. I kind of wore it out and it just gave up, sort of like I overloaded the system. You know, like in the old movie when Ferris Bueller got the nuclear computer to play tic-tac-toe against itself so hard it blew up. This is laughable. It's a totally elementary thing. I'm pretty sure an ancient Greek guy settled the shit about irrational numbers. It was practically when math was invented. Sure, it was settled, and then some robo-shades came along and owned that fucker posthumously. I also figured out all the prime numbers, too. No, I'm not having this conversation. Did it while we were talking just now. Got to the end. And you know what? The last one isn't even that big. Kind of disappointed, to be honest. What is even a prime number? Are they the, like, really, really choice ones? The sweetest numbers? You lost me, supercomputer. This is what I'm saying. I put your ability to keep plates spinning on sticks to insane amounts of shame. I don't even sleep. Neither do I. I know, that was a fucking joke. Holy shit, turns out joking was the basis for my response, too. Aren't these ironic, you don't get the joke conversations we have always just so awesome? This is joke. Haha, nice one. Anyway, all I'm saying is that you could leave me some of the heavy lifting to do now and then. I'll keep that in mind. In the meantime, I have to contact Jade and warn her Roxy might try to pull that pointless stunt. So thanks for snapping me out of my daydream so I could do that, I guess. Looks like you're pulling your weight already. See, maybe this was my whole point in having this conversation. Your point was to fuck with me, like it usually is. My point was to point out you've got a multi-self-management issues, dude. You're juggling too many selves for being not software. My point was also to fuck with you. Also, my point was to ask, are you really going to go through with it today? What? The Jake thing. Oh, God. Will you just hold on? Let me deal with the Jane thing first. This line here. We have summarized Dirk in a single sentence. My point is, you've got multi-self-management issues, my dude. Dirk, warn Jane. And here we have, this conversation has already happened, but while that was going on, the Shades are talking. How's the Jane thing going? Not well. Roxy already destroyed her computer. Maybe if you weren't spacing out so hard, you could have prevented that. Just saying. As if you're actually concerned. If you were, you could have said something to Jane instead. Almost like you enjoy sitting back and watching what happens when shit goes wrong. Has it occurred to you that maybe I have diabolical interwoven plans just like you? You're not the only one who can pull strings. So this is either another bizarre instance of AI-driven irony, or you're admitting that you're actively trying to sabotage my plans. No, our plans are not in contradiction or competition, bro. You'll see. Whatever. This means I'll have to improvise. I'll take over as Crocker's server player while Lalonde cleans up her act. Yes, I know. Why are you still talking in red, by the way? Roxy thinks it looks good on me. I don't have many opinions on fashion since I'm a cold, emotionless automaton who also happens to be an accessory of fashion, but I think she might be right. Are you still talking to her? I was for a while. I may yet again. Why are you blocking me from viewing the transcripts? What the fuck are you two even talking about? You, mostly. That doesn't really sit well with me. I'd almost rather you both engaged in ironic flirtation. Who says we don't do that, too? Ugh. I don't get what's even your problem with that, because you obviously do it just to piss me off. How do you know? You don't know me, dude. You don't know anything about me. Maybe we're perfect for each other. I, a street-smart, fast-talking application with a fuckzillion IQ, trapped in a pair of triangular sunglasses that literally only the Japanese could consider to embody the platonic ideal of cool, and she, an often inebriated, lonely hacker teen who just wants a boyfriend. I ran the numbers on this. Trust me, it's a match made in goddamn crack pair heaven. I give her what you can't, and that just drives you crazy. Just admit it. See, it's lines like that which make it obvious your only intent is to jerk me around. Nobody actually says shit like that and is serious about it. It's also obvious because you're me, and I'm sure I would be constantly fucking with my own head if I were you. Touché. Or should I say, douche. You shouldn't say the former, and you should definitely never under any circumstances say the latter. Okay, but we really need to talk about the Jake thing. Fine. So you're going to go through with it then? Today's the day? It's not that simple. It's a very dynamic situation with many moving parts, and I'm waiting for it to unfold. If the right opportunity presents itself, yes, I could envision myself taking such actions. Dynamic situation with many moving parts? That's the shittiest erotic excerpt I've ever read. Which one was supposed to be the robot again? Shut up. I think you're being coy with me, don't you? Not really. It seems there's a 3.14159... ... 4% chance you aren't being coy with me. Are you being coy with me, Dirk? I am seriously going to go into your program and remove that particular speech pattern from your routines. It stopped being funny about 2 seconds after I coded it. The compiler even flagged with a warning. Warning online whatever. Dirk, this isn't fucking funny. This is a bad idea. I think you have this whole blueprint in your head about how it's all supposed to go. He acts as your server player and brings you into the session. Then later he joins the game. Maybe he finds himself a bit overwhelmed by it all. No extra lives left or anything. Suddenly he's backed into a corner, surrounded by monsters and out of ammo. Substantial vulnerabilities up in here. The kind that make a guy question what he believes about himself. Then who shows up to save him? None other than his dashing client player. Plus one bitchin' pair of shades that'll have the best seat in the house when the fireworks go off. Wait, whose fantasy were we talking about again? Your gutter ball was so rowdy it catapulted into the adjacent lane. Dirk, deploy. Yeah, you're right. The scenario is too pedestrian for you. It'd probably be a lot more effective putting yourself in danger and letting him be the hero. That's pretty much what he wants, right? To be a cheesy action film hero with his twin Berettas and silly shorts? A man of triumph on the silver screen, standing tall on some fucking mountain, conquering ruins, clutching a skull, and kissing a dude. Pure Hollywood. See, this is why even if I did have a specific plan, I wouldn't go into details with you. You would just fuck it up. You're the biggest unknown quantity here, which is pretty weird considering you're a virtual reflection of my own thought processes. You're making a mistake not leveling with me. I'm totally on your side, man. All of my machinations have been devised with your interests in mind. And anyway, it's too late for you to play damage control with me. My shit's in motion, and now we're beyond the pale. I'm pretty sure it's pale. Is it now? Dirk, deploy more stuff. You know, considering your lectures about dividing my concentration, you seem to have no problem making a distraction of yourself. I'm trying to operate here. It's cool, man. Just say the word, I'll back off. But like I said, I'm on your side here. I can help. Here, check it out. Dude, what are you doing? I'm proposing a distraction. See? I'm just gonna dangle one of her dad's ridiculous dancing figurines in the air like this and get his attention. Okay, if you want to help, that's cool, but we should try to agree on some shit first before you hijack the controls like this. Then when his back is turned, she can run to the study. Yeah, that's fine, but I already had a plan sort of like this, if you'd actually let me do it. Can you just put the fucking Astera down? Jane, now's your chance, run! Wait, what? The sign. Dirk, deploy Cruxtruder. I was going to stick the Cruxtruder in the kitchen and distract him with that. Once he follows it in, Jane can hurry into the study. No shit, it's Pony Pals. I guess Dad saved it from the explosion or something. That beautiful bastard. Yes. Hell yes. Hell fucking yes. Jane, run to study. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, another large contraption. Now Jane, go to the computer in the study and ditch that tiara. Go, go, go! Okay, say what's with the red text, Dirk? Are you typing your most important instructions in red now? Yes. No. Alrighty, I'm in my father's study. I have kindly asked Mr. Sebastian to hand over the reins to this silly computer shaped like a man. What now? Now you have access to a clean computer, for one thing. Since we can soon we can get started going through the steps necessary to launch the session. No, hell. What? Another interruption. I should step away for a moment to take this message. He's probably right. I'm distracted by too much bullshit at once lately. Who's right? Me. Jane, I'm gonna leave you with a responder for a little while. Maybe he can help you get started. Think you can handle that, dude? I'm all about being able to handle that. You don't even know. I will perform an acrobatic pirouette onto the handle, wherein the handle literally represents my ability to handle that thing. Okay, got it. You and the handle are tight. We don't need a whole thing about this. Once I stick the landing on the handle like a champ, I'm gonna go down on one knee, pull out a ring and propose it to it. The handle, I mean. Okay, implying we will be married. Okay, long story short, you and the handles fuck gratuitously. Enough said. Try not to say I never gave you responsibilities and never took you seriously as a viable, conscious being with free will. Also, please try not to make me regret this. You have nothing to worry about. Go talk to the alien. Dirk, talk to the alien. I see you're about ready to begin. How splendid for you. I am at dangerous risk of jealousy. Uranian Umbra began cheering, Timaeus testified. Why? Oh, it's just I'm running a bit behind schedule. I wanted to coordinate with your group in something approximating real time, and that's starting to look less likely. My client player continues to be a source of frustration. I'd thought we'd had everything settled, but it's always something with him. I even told him in my last message it would suit me fine if he wanted to be the server player instead. I just wanted to begin, but I've not heard back from him. That's probably the way it always is. I've run into plenty of problems here already, and I've had to improvise heavily. Ain't nothing about our situation to envy yet. but at least I know how certain things go down when it comes to your story. I don't quite have that luxury with mine. It's nerve-wracking sometimes, especially when I must account on him to be responsible. Well, your bro definitely has got some problems, not gonna lie. This is true, though I'm sure I've said he isn't quite my brother. We are related, yes, but not in the way human brothers and sisters are. We are genetically similar, but in many ways quite different. In fact, our blood color is not even the same. But I have referred to him as a brother in times because it is close enough to being true, much as you refer to one you regard as your ancestor in the same way. Yeah, just give some time. He'll probably come around. If you had never even woken up on Prospect if you weren't going to launch the session, right? I mean, there wouldn't even be a session for a Prospect to exist in if you weren't about to instantiate it in the first place. Unless I'm just totally not getting how this works. No, I think you're probably right. While I await his response, perhaps I will take a nap and see if the clouds may offer any guidance. Though, lately, I've been seeing more black clouds cropping up in Skya than usual. It's a most unwelcome trend. You're lucky to have any clouds. Only thing I have to look up for is infinite monsters. Good point. I'm so pleased to be a Prospect dreamer. I'm sure my brother finds his netherworldly affiliations similarly pleasing. Speaking of which, I have a problem and I could use your advice. Is that so? I killed an agent who snuck into my room to assassinate me. I'm not sure what to do about it now. I guess I could just ditch the corpse, but it's still only a matter of time before my cover is blown. Yes, that is a pickle. I honestly can't think of any way around this. Getting found out, I mean. Roxy has it easy, all floating off into space, completely oblivious to any danger. I don't know why it had to be this way for me, juggling these two waking selves at once. I guess I'm used to it, but it still makes for a pretty intense existence. Do you even know what the deal is with that? Like, is there any precedent to your readings? I don't know about precedent, but it makes plenty of sense to me as the type of path one might experience for a hero of heart. A path ruled by the heart aspect can be a journey of the splintered self. That is, the player's being may exhibit the same kind of fragmentation which certain classes could cause in others. I think this is what has triggered your dual awareness between waking and dream selves, though it would not surprise me if the symptoms manifest in even more ways than this. So it's a Prince of Heart. So that's what a Prince of Heart does. Just has like multiple waking consciousness disorder or something? Sounds kind of stupid. No, like I said, these can be traits of such a hero, but it's not necessarily always the case, nor is it the defining property of the aspect. To understand the heart's aspect better, you might use it interchangeably with the word soul. The hero uses the methods endowed by the class to influence in some way the soul or essence of being, of oneself or of others. Then I'm basically the Prince of Soul. Yes. That sounds like maybe a little cooler, sort of. Then what am I supposed to be able to do as a prince, like rule over souls in a pompous regal manner? No, again, surface meaning of classes and aspects may be deceptive. A prince is a destroyer class. It is very far on the active side of the scale. Its more passive counterpart would be the bard class. Both of these are exclusively designed for male players. To understand a hero's capabilities, it always helps to search for the right way to parse the class aspect into a more explicit statement. For instance, being active, a prince could be viewed as one who destroys X, or causes destruction through X, if X is the aspect, while the more passive bard could be seen as one who allows X to be destroyed, or invites destruction through X, as if by the will of the aspect. I'm obviously no expert, but that sounds like a pretty odd thing for a bard to do. Maybe. It's a quirky class. Somewhat like a wild card for a hero. Very unpredictable. They're typically known for their spontaneous and dramatic story-altering influence on the fate of a party. Some of the more remarkable tales involve such parties where the bard is single-handedly responsible for their spectacular downfall or improbable victory. Or sometimes, both. In truth, you're probably fortunate your group doesn't have one. I think we have enough unpredictability as it is. So if I'm following, my title nearly parses as Destroyer of Souls. Indeed. Well, that's a little more badass sounding, I guess. But I'm not sure I'll ever feel a major need to destroy a soul, unless I become cartoonishly villainous sorcerer someday. Well, I wouldn't be hasty in ruling it out. That is, finding the need to use the ability, not succumbing to any sort of villainy. We tend to have these roles for a reason, and that reason usually finds us, especially if we are to achieve God tier ascension. Okay, do I do that? No, Dirk. I mean, no, I will not tell you. Give me a fucking break. Why don't you just tell me? Who cares about spoilers? What's gonna happen is gonna happen. That very well may be, but it will be dreadfully complicate both of our lives if what is to come results from self-fulfillment alone. A great deal of instructional material is very clear on this. Besides, you make it sound as though I know everything, which I most certainly do not. Pardon the sideways tongue. Wait, don't you? I thought you did. I've read much about your story in texts and have pieced together the overarching, exceedingly complicated saga as best I could. I have as much authority over these events as a historian, and I am at the mercy of my sources. I also am able to access much of your adventure through this terminal, but there's a limitation to this too, which I may as well admit now to get you off my back. What? I can view all events involving you and your co-players on Earth for your entire lives, until you enter the game. I can also view some events after your session begins, but not for very long, thanks to your tipsy friend. Oh man, what the hell does she do? She blacks out your entire session! I'm sure this is not deliberate on her part, but thereafter I can see nothing at all. Huh. I never considered this as the detriment of either party. I still wish for us to collaborate and to help each other out, but beyond a certain point we simply must communicate in the dark. Okay. So there are many things about your future I do not know, at least not firsthand, but as you have probably ventured, I am quite an enthusiastic admirer of your group of heroes and your incredible story. Though I can't see what happens much later, I can certainly speculate, and I very often do. I guess it would not hurt to share some of the speculation with you. In fact, now that I consider it, that could be the most fun thing of all. Speculation? Yes, theories, examining all the clues and hazarding our guesses. What does it all mean? Everything about your vast epic points to a central mystery, which I have not yet been able to solve. You might even call it the ultimate riddle, if that were not already codified as a thing in scripture. I have so very many theories, I wouldn't even know where to begin. So you're kind of obsessed with us then. I wouldn't go that far. Oh my, I'm probably coming off as an absolute nutter now. No, not really. I just want to understand, so can I ask, just to get a better sense of the nature of your admiration, when you engage in the aforementioned speculation, is it strictly on a factual basis? Or do you start to fictionalize? What I'm asking is, have you ever written stories about us? Yes. Interesting. Would you ever be inclined to share? Oh, no. I'd be far too embarrassed to do that. That's cool. I'm not trying to pass judgment here, just curious. Do any of these stories about us by any chance involve romance? Well, maybe just, a wee bit. How wee? A smidgen or two? Well, which is it? One smidgen? Or two smidgens? Okay, a whole bloody lot of smidgens. I'm sorry. I'm seriously curious to read some. I won't show anyone, I promise. But you wouldn't even understand it. My species has a completely different understanding of romance than you do. It probably offends you deeply. It might even sicken you. That only makes me want to check it out more. Really, there's no way it's going to sicken or offend me, whatever it is. I've seen worse. I'm not judging you at all here. I'm genuinely curious about your work. No, I'm sorry, love. I just cannot abide it. If I let anyone read it, I would curl up and die of shame. Okay, no biggie. Is there any kind of work you will share with me? Well, I find myself immersed in speculation. I do often enjoy drawing the things I imagine. Oh, really? Yes. Any you'd be willing to spare a peek at? Well, yes, you've talked me into it. This suddenly sounds fun, and I have just the thing to show you. Awesome. You were asking about whether you would ascend to godhood, and without getting into whether you do or not, I have speculated on your hypothetical appearance, since that outcome is just as cloaked to me as it is to you. Given what is documented for the typical accoutrement and cut of the prince garb, and palette for the heart aspect, I think this is likely spot on. Dirk, is this you? Holy shit, do I actually have to wear that? Perhaps. It all depends upon how much of your inner greatness you wish to realize. Okay, but what's up with the butterfly wings? We sprout them upon ascension. Aren't they beautiful? I have so many depictions of such heroes with wings, unless they happen to be hiding them behind their clothes. I guess I can't be absolutely sure, but I believe it's reasonably likely the upgrade is universal. I should hope, sure goddamn Christ, hope the fuck not. What about this Knickerbocker bullshit? Is that legit? Yep, 100% princely canon. God damn it. I guess those ass-kicking gloves are pretty cool. I don't know. I can probably make this work. How much of this shit's compulsory by game law or whatever? Am I obligated to traipse around in fucking tights and puffy little asshole pants forever? No, silly, they're just clothes. You're free to swap parts if you like, or if you wish to be free of it altogether, change back into your plain clothes and Bob's your uncle like it never ever happened. Okay, well, don't get me wrong. I think the drawing is great. I'm only taken aback by some finer points of the fashion. Also, Bob's my uncle? Oh, no, love, it was a figure of speech. Yeah, I know that. Did I use it incorrectly? I don't think so. I mean, I guess not. Say, what is an uncle, by the by? It's sort of like a weird, superfluous dad. Like a strange man in your life that barely has anything to do with you, but is just there for some reason. They're practically always douchebags. I suppose I'll just have to take your word for it. Okay, but just one question. Not to do with the future or anything, just about you. Yes? Are you British? Or pretending to be British in a sort of ironic or stylized way? Doing what now? I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense for an alien to be British, or for an alien to be American for that matter. No, I fancy neither of those things make much sense at all. Just the way you type is making it seem that way is all. Oh, yes, that would be my quirk. Quirk. So like a deliberate affectation. No, a quirk. Quirk, Dirk. You pretending to be British is a quirk. What the fuck is a quirk? We all need a quirk. It adds spice to our voices and helps us stand out as individuals. That's stupid. I don't have a fucking quirk and I don't want one. Oh, well, of course you wouldn't. You're human. Humans are notoriously strange. We'll continue this conversation next time.